sparkles and shivs, it's the Con Mom Show. Stephanie
and Sarah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Con Moms. This is Sarah and
Stephanie.
And we are back, we are here, we are talking about artist alleys and why we love them so much. And why they are important.
They're critical. I would say they're critical to the lifeblood of a convention.
I agree. I know like a lot of people go to cons for guests, but I personally go to cons for the arts. We're gonna do some like visual aids today that we're gonna show, and then I'm gonna have to edit some in because mine is all art. All the physical things I buy I give to people for presents. So for me, I'm gonna have to show in some stuff later, and I can't really take you on a tour of my house to all the art walls, so we'll do that later. But yes. So why do you feel like art is the most important part of a con, Stephanie?
I feel like, so you go to a con and the vendor hall is a time-honored tradition of it. And yet you can find a lot of really cool collectibles and things like that. Conventions grew out of, people collecting comics and memorabilia and everything like that. And over time, it's grown in this way where small businesses and independent artists can, show off their art to a completely new audience that, might not see them all the time, that they wouldn't otherwise have access to, and create really interesting, different, unique items. Which, I feel like if 2020 should teach us a lot of things, but one of the things 2020 should teach us is the importance of small businesses and small creators. They really are important. They really do so much, and the amount of work and blood, sweat, and tears. And you find that like really unique thing, like you were saying, like a lot of your stuff ends up as gifts. This is the type of stuff that you can find specifically curated items that you are never going to see anywhere else, that is going to be unique, that is going to be handcrafted, that is going to be just so far beyond what you could ever imagine to find at an artist alley. And it's just like, it's this beautiful experience to just walk the artist alley and you just have that wonderful conversation and back and forth with folks over their craft, over the fandom. Like, even if you don't buy anything, like the amount of people I have talked to because I just gush over their stuff and the fandom that they made from, it's just a beautiful experience. It really brings a whole new community vibe to the con experience, and that I find is really, really critical.
Yeah, all my Christmas shopping basically is through artist alleys at cons. I'm like, I find all the things there. I mean, some vendor hall, because there's some stuff that I want to get to. And to me, like, a lot of the vendors are also small businesses. Like, you have some that are stores that rent out spaces, but you do have a lot of people in there too that also, like, that's what they do is sell stuff. So,
yeah, like your local comic book shops.
Yes, support local always. But yeah, for me, I'm always like Christmas shopping, but I also Christmas shop year round, so it's great for cons. And I love art. I love buying art. I have like to bring a special art case with me every time I travel because I'm like, I will fit art in here. I always go home with something. Part of my problem is I don't have enough wall space for all of it, so I kind of like have to. I'm at the point where I have to like start curating it out. I'm like, okay, we'll change this every few months because there's no more room. Yeah. I mean, I could overflow to the common space, but I don't know if the other roommates who have very different styles than me would appreciate it. But
too many things to hang on your wall. What is that like?
I know, right? Maps. I'm excited for you to tell us about maps. Like one day we'll have to do like a whole like this map is.
Oh, well, probably soon because I got a new one coming in tomorrow, and I'm gonna have Michaela go to the store and get butcher paper so I can plan out and rearrange my map wall entirely.
I love shopping for frames too. I mean, I don't frame like a lot of my art just because I like the smooth edges, crisp edges and stuff, but like some stuff it's fun to shop for frames for to match.
So I had a just around the corner from us, we had a framing store, a framing and art gallery store go out of
Ooh.
business. The amount of frames that I purchased from that place, I still don't have stuff for all of those frames, but it was like, this is $10 and it's a 2 foot by 3 foot frame that's really pretty. I'm buying this.
Perfect. It's
Yeah.
coming home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another thing about Artist Alley is a lot of people think it's just art prints, but they've like expanded so much. I love how they have like the hollow art prints now. Those I'm obsessed with. The hollow prints.
Hollow art prints, the foil art prints that are, or
Yes,
the aluminum art
shiny.
prints. I have one. I don't have it out here with me today, but I have one of one of my favorite comic characters, and it's so pretty.
I know someone, I don't remember the artist's name, it's terrible because like I've bought so much art. I literally have basically what I do. I know people have different, we'll talk about different ways you can like remember stuff, because to me it's also important to know who your favorite artists are and to go back and back. Like off the top of my head, I love Sugar Mints. I love Yume, like obsessed. But they did a holographic Sailor Moon. It's like Eternal Sailor Moon with like all of the scouts. And I saw it at a con, and I hadn't seen this art before, and I was like, yes. But for me, what I do is I have a binder that I put everybody's business cards in, and I have them sorted by con. So I know like when I went, who was there, who, and I can make like purchase, didn't purchase, want to purchase, like little things on there, and that way.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is way better than my technique.
Because sometimes when I travel too, there's stuff I want to purchase, but it's too big and I can't get it back home. So I get their cards so I can order when I'm home and just ship it to my house. So
yeah,
some things I do that as well. What is your technique? I'm very curious.
It's not, it needs improvement. I'm gonna be real honest. A lot of it is just like, I try and, if I see a shop that I really, really love, I will grab their card and I will pull out my phone as soon as I have service, and I will just go follow them right then and there. Now, sometimes, obviously, follow your creator pages. That's great. I don't think any creator is going to complain if you follow their page. No. But, sometimes it's not the best for going back to try and find stuff if you can't remember the name. The other thing that I'll do sometimes is like snap a picture and put it in like my Instagram story, and like, I got this from so and so, and put it up, and that does two things. One, that's a free shout out to that creator, but then it's saved in my phone and my Instagram and Facebook memories.
Ooh, that's
so it won't, even if I delete it from my phone, I'm still going to be able to go back into the archives of Instagram and Facebook, and then like every year it will come back up. So it's a way for me to use the stalkery nature of social media to my advantage.
For me, like if a place, because not everyone does carry business cards, especially if it's people that are newer to doing cons. I also will take out my phone and take a picture of their, like, I'll ask permission, of course, because I don't want people to assume I'm taking pictures of their art. Always ask.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I just make sure it's okay, because some artists do not want you to, for obvious reasons. They want people copying or stuff like that. But I like to take, because a lot of them will put out like their social handles on a paper.
Handles, yeah.
I'll take a picture of that on my phone. And I vend at cons as well, because I do photo booths, so I let cosplayers come and do things. And for me, I have a QR code that people can scan on their phone that's on my banners, and that way they can just pull up all the information on there. Yeah. It's very convenient.
That is,
and I know like a lot of people are incorporating that as well. So
yeah.
What are some of your favorite things you've ever bought in Artist Alley?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm wearing one right now, actually. This I got at LA Comic Con. My first trip ever to LA Comic Con. Before it was, I think it was still Kamikaze at that point, because it's just LA Comic Con now, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so this I think was like the last year or second to last year that it was Kamikaze. But I went down there, and I was walking in a fashion show, and so I was like looking at for the convention, which was super fun, had a blast. And I got to see all these designers that would also be vending, and I was like, hey, how are you? So I went over to one of them, and this is from a designer called Elle, and she does a lot of fun nerdy style clothing, but does it in a way that like is more along the lines of bounding. And a lot of her stuff is you could wear to the office. So like this right here, this is part of actually a set, her Mischief set. So this is a Loki inspired blazer, and it
I
came
love
with.
it.
I also
I was
purchased
like,
a.
it's very Loki. I thought when you
It,
sat
it
down, I was
it's
like, ooh.
yeah, it also came with, oh, not came with, I bought it additionally, but it pairs with a coordinating dress that is also very Loki inspired, and like a little golden capulet that you can put, forget what this word is, I don't know if that's correct, right here as well. But I have so much of her stuff now because I absolutely fell in love with that aesthetic, because it's like I have an office business job, but I like to, kind of play games and see like what kind of fun nerdy stuff can I just like fly under the radar here. And it's like I feel like a badass in it because it fits really well. It's really good materials. So like the dress and the blazer are like my lucky outfit that I'll wear anytime I have to do like a really big important meeting or whatever. Like that's what I wear when I'm
Like,
at the
I'm here.
office.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
slay.
But yeah, I
I
love
have
her stuff
outfits like that, or
so
like,
much.
ooh. I need to
Mhm.
look at more into these designers because I generally don't look at clothes too often when I'm in stuff. I should. That sounds terrible, but it's just like
Mhm.
to me, I generally can't take them home. So like unless something's like sparkly, like when I see out the corner of my eye, I'm like, I don't really. So
Right,
I need to do
right.
that. But because I wear like I own a lot of her universe, but I want to expand to more indie brands because I feel like they're becoming more mainstream versus indie. They used to be, which
Indeed.
is
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's awesome for them. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's great for them too, but it's also like you still want to do that shop small. And the other thing I like
Mm-hmm.
about Elle is she's still a small business. All her stuff is
Yes.
made locally. She cares really back about giving back to the community. She does a lot of stuff for charity. She's very pro LGBT.
Mm.
If you go onto her site and you look up an item, like my wife was looking up a Zelda hoodie to buy, super cute. She has like,
Share the link now.
oh yeah, I will. She has this huge range. I want to say like at least 8 different models of different genders, different heights, different ethnicities, different body
Mm.
builds, all modeling the same garment. And then as you're looking at it, you're like, okay, what size should I get? Not only do you see all of these examples of models wearing the garment, but she puts down every single model's measurement. So you can link them up to the photos, all of their measurements, what size they're wearing in the photo. So you can go back and forth and really go like, okay, where is my size going to be on this based on my body shape and type. It's such a great way to shop because like online clothing shopping, it can be hit or
Mm-hmm.
miss if you order. So that's the other thing I really like about her, is that she does a really good job about that. She's super inclusive, size inclusive, gender inclusive, racially inclusive, very pro LGBT, very pro human rights, just a good person, you know?
Yeah.
So like you feel good, and it's her stuff I have to save up for because I pay the cost of, this is good quality stuff made by a small business, but it's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So Elle is a designer that I found at a convention, and I absolutely fell in love with her stuff, and I still follow her and keep up with the things that her business is doing, because I love them as a business, and I love the quality of the products and how fun they are. Like it's great. I have another clothes designer also introduced to me at a con. This
Mm-hmm.
is Blue Bunny Design. She does a lot of the heat sublimated designs. So she sends her designs out to get produced, but she creates all the designs herself. And so
Ooh.
she does a lot of fun. You will appreciate this. Oh yeah, this is a Princess Serenity dress I bought from her. It
Guess what
is
I'm
because
buying
it's
when we
that
get off.
heat. Oh yeah, because it is that heat sublimated. It is that
Mm-hmm.
super buttery soft type
Mm-hmm.
wear. Um, and she does a lot of fun different designs. She does a lot of test runs for it. Also, someone who is very size inclusive, and just lots of very bright, fun colors. And just yeah, that very much she does more of the it's bounding, but it's more of that literal bounding where it's more the aesthetic of something you would find at like Her Universe, Hot Topic, that kind of thing, where it's a little bit more literal. But that works for a lot of people. That is a legitimate like style choice. And like she sold an Animal Crossing Tom Nook shirt that looked like the shirt he wore, and yes, do it. Like, yeah, she's got some really fun stuff, and I got introduced to her at a convention, and she's another one whose work I just really love to follow.
I like when people put the size inclusive stuff, because for me, I'm a pear, so it always looks weird, and I have Erb's palsy, so like one arm is longer than the other one. So for me, I'm always like, I like to see, because half the time I'm like, well, I gotta hit him up one arm because the other one, so it's fun to see like where it lines up and sizing and all that good stuff. Yeah, for me, I'm obsessed with, I know you've sent me the link, but Fizzy Apothecary.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Stephanie apparently loves her candles, or their candles. I haven't tried yet, but I love Ravenclaw. I gotta go get my Slytherin one.
It smells so good. Like it's
I'm
just
like
got that
forward,
like
I can smell
more,
it,
yeah, like lean in and smell it. It's got that more like kind of musky type smell, that more deep earth musky. And yeah, I bought this. Ravenclaw Library. That's what it's supposed to invoke.
Library.
And her candles, or at least this one, a wooden wick candle with a hidden charm in it. So melted it down, and there was a little foil packet with a little eagle charm on it. It was really cute. But I literally sat this on my shelf, not burning it for like years, because I just would want to just walk by, just stick my face in it.
I'm a sucker for anything that puts charms or things in it, like prizes. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want the cereal, I just want the prize now.
Right.
I love Fizzy Fairy's bath bombs. I'm obsessed with them because they also put trinkets in those, and I'm like, yes, please. Yes, please.
I love the rise of like geeky bath products that I've been seeing, and I'm like, yes, give it more. Especially like, you know what, at a convention, what's one thing that you're likely to forget? A hygiene product. Guess what? Go to a con, buy a nerdy one, support a small artist, and make yourself smell good. Everybody wins. Okay. Everybody wins.
Please bring deodorant, everyone. This is your fun fact for the day.
Yeah, do not. But like, also go get a bath bomb to treat yourself after a very long day at the convention. Just a thought.
I think too, one of the things, especially in a post-COVID world, we should especially go to the artist alley and stuff and support them, because a lot of these people, that's their main source of income through the year, is going to the cons, and they didn't have it for like a year. 2 years probably at this point. So definitely hit them up, because we want them to stay around, and we want to make sure to buy all the things to get them ball rolling again. I had that thought. I'm like, some people, that's like literally the only thing they do. They don't have other options. Because I think some of them started opening like little online stores and stuff, which is great. But some people, they literally only go to cons, and they don't have like any other way to show product to people. So,
and Etsy can be really, really expensive to maintain as a small business. So it's just
I know a lot of people have left Etsy because it's just,
I do too.
They keep changing feeds. I had a shop in there for like a long time, and I cut it because it's not become about, because like when Etsy started years ago, it was very much about the creator. But now Etsy is a for-profit machine and does not care. So
it sucks. It sucks because it's one of those things that a lot of small businesses feel that they need to do, because it is really easy. I buy a lot of stuff on Etsy because it's easy to find something if I don't know a shop. But also, if you're searching on Etsy for a shop, take 5 minutes. If you find something you like, see if they have a website that's not on Etsy that you can purchase through. They will probably end up taking a little bit more money home. You might actually save money, because some Etsy folk have to raise their prices to just make up the difference of how much Etsy is charging them. So
also, another thing for you guys who order online, if you do order on Etsy, do not click the sponsored ads, because the people that are selling on there do not sponsor those ads. That is a way for Etsy to take more money from them. So do not click on the sponsored ads when you're shopping. Be sure to go to that store, find the item, but don't purchase it through a click through of that.
Yeah. If you get a sponsored ad that looks like something you really want, screen cap it, and then search for it on your own.
Scroll for days. I mean, their search algorithm's pretty good, but scroll for
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
It'll be worth it. Yeah, I'm definitely really excited for cons to come back so I can spend more money in the artist alley and buy more backlogs.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Also, one of my favorite things about vendors halls is the snacks that they have there, because I love all the little Pocky snacks. So I'm a snack machine.
That used to be one of Kylie, my little god sister, and Ryan, my god brother, when we go to cons to visit the snack booth with all the Japanese snacks that you just wouldn't get anywhere else. And that was always like a big thing. We're like, okay, I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to try this. And I'm like, yes, good job, small children. Good job.
That's
trying
excellent.
things.
Green tea Pocky, yes, please.
Oof, yes.
If there's matcha on it, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh, yeah, it's over. It's over. Yeah.
But probably,
Give me the
like,
matcha.
and I feel like
Give
some
it.
stuff they put matcha and you can't even taste it, but I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm fine. I'll be that marketer's dream. I mean, my best friends joke I'm the marketer's dream, because if you stick Sailor Moon on it, if you stick matcha on it, I'm gonna purchase it. Or Black Widow, honestly. If we're gonna be real here, I buy it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Like,
It's what it is.
Yeah. I've literally started collecting all that fun stuff. Yeah. But yes, definitely follow these people on social media, because like things like this where we didn't think about, now we had a pandemic and we didn't have cons for 2 years, and now we are able to support those people because we found them before the con. So
and small business are also ripe. This actually happened to one of the businesses that I have out today. Getting picked up by scammer knockoff sites, having their products get picked up. One of the artists that I follow, her stuff just keeps popping up in these sites over and over again. And these, like, she does, here, I'll just show you. I didn't get this at a con. We entered her Patreon raffle afterwards, another way you can support artists. Yes. And then won this beautiful jackalope.
So cute.
This is a fully articulated doll. I can bend all of the limbs however I want. I can turn her head. Like, the level of detail and love and care in this doll is insane, right? Yeah, these knockoff dolls, knockoff sites took her. She has this variant called the Whisper, which is like this purple undead looking thing with like milked over eyes and mushrooms growing out of it. So cool, so pretty.
On the legit.
Oh yeah, it's so this is the Menagerie McLeod. This is this vendor. She does all sorts of fun things, but they took, the knockoff site was selling it at a discounted rate of $30. If you know anything about handcrafted materials, $30 ain't gonna freaking cover your materials. It's not gonna cover half of your materials.
No.
Like, it's just not. Yeah, and they keep popping up, and one of them actually attempted to scare her off with a copyright claim against her with her own freaking product.
You're like, no, thank you. I have this stuff here to prove this was mine first. So
yeah, but yeah, this is Menagerie McLeod. Her work is amazing. Her website is amazing because every single creature that she creates and sells, she calls it, I'm adopting these. All of them have a name. She does write-ups on her website about the history. She makes up this whole history and how to properly take care of your creature. Like, it's this very immersive, like you're buying from a fantasy pet merchant. Like, that's the feeling you get when you shop with her. But yeah, we adopted a Miss Olivia right here, and she likes to raid our whiskey stash.
Sounds like a great option, just saying.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Another thing too about artist alleys and vendor halls, like you talked about the experience, and a lot of people, it's fun to buy from small businesses too because you get an experience, which I feel like is very memorable, especially in a digital age where we're oversaturated. I can get anything instantly. Like, it's so much product on the market, consumerism, like, it's all-time high. And I think it's great because I shop now for experiences, not what's cheap. So for me, I'm like,
yes,
you can see a lot of love and care that goes into something. And when you buy from a small business, you're buying into what someone loves, and it's like an investment in them. And I really like that as well. I love it.
Yeah.
And I think too they go above and beyond with customer service, because if you ask like when was your last 5 experiences, but if you ask people like what's your last 5 bad ones, you'll remember right away, but you want to make sure you remember all the good ones too.
Good
So
ones. Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. For me, Sugar Mints does really great art. They also have a website, and they have great like things too. I love when the artists now are getting into like note cards and postcards
Oh
and washi
yeah.
tape, because I've done this thing I've discovered through the pandemic is I like to write letters, and I like to get fun stationery and
Oh,
glitter
I
pins
love that.
and anything
I
that's
love
weird and
that.
stickers. I'm like, yes, please. So that now that these artists are like also doing that, I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm ready. And then Yume also has really great artwork, and she just recently did some stuff on environmental things, and it's really pretty,
Oh,
especially like her
nice.
series on the wildfires and how that impacts the environment. It's a really excellent one as well.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. Bath bombs are good. There's like a whole bunch, you
Bath
guys.
bombs.
Like I
There's
should
so
have gotten
much.
my thing and been like, and I got this guy and I got this guy. So I'm gonna edit a
This
bunch
guy,
in
this
for you
person,
to see. Be like, this person is awesome. This person is
and
awesome. And we
this
will
person is
also
also
have a list of
also
great
awesome.
shops and things that you should go check out as well. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, even if you are like younger or on a budget and you go to cons, I don't want you to feel like you can't have a full con experience without purchasing anything. And even if you just tell people like you love their stuff, that goes a long way. And that's a great way to support artists as well. And like Steph said, like following social media, also great because you're really help those guys. They're like, yes.
Yeah, follow their social media. If you see something that's really cute, tag a friend in it, share it with a friend, or post it on your story. A lot of pages do these do giveaways that are really, meant to drive up eyeballs to their page. So participating in it, I've been participating in so many little giveaways on Instagram. Haven't won a thing this whole year. I got lucky one time like 2 years ago, but haven't since then. But that's fine because like I'm getting exposed to all these different shops I wouldn't have otherwise,
Exactly.
and I can help boost other eyeballs on that okay, well maybe it's not the right time for me to buy this particular product, but it might be the right time for somebody else.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah, I'm really excited for us to be able to go to cons again, and I'm really excited for that as well. And is there anything else you would like to add, Stephanie? Do you have any other things you'd like to show us?
Yes, I would. I actually, yeah. So this is my map. This is part of my map wall.
Map wall.
Wall. This is the map wall. This is my wall of maps. It just keeps going. It's not all the way down to the floor yet, but I have a new map coming in tomorrow, so it probably will be. But one of my favorite ever purchases is this map right here. I'll bring you in.
Yes, bring us in. We want to see.
Okay, so if this shape looks vaguely familiar, oh, my mouse just hit the floor. I apologize for my actions. If this looks vaguely familiar to California residents, that is because this is
San Francisco.
It is. This is a fantasy version of the Bay Area. All with different slight alterations. So you have San Franciscilieth, you have Sarn Leandor instead of San Leandro, you have Haywaith instead of Hayworth, Half Loon Bay instead of Half Moon Bay.
Gosh, I love this so
you have
much.
seaports, markets, skyports. Yeah, it's called the Silidor Valley instead of the Silicon Valley. It is an absolute delight. So they have all of these beautiful, they've made a few. There's one of the LA area that I really want. Same style. They've also created a lot of D&D specific stuff. So D&D merch, like shirts. And then they just came out with these one-shot D&D campaigns specifically designed to be done as a date night with somebody. So it's like a DM GM list date night, and that's like it is it is a game that you are supposed to play with your significant other, D&D style. And I'm like, I really want to get that soon for our own date nights, because that sounds like a really good time.
You're like, Michaela, guess what? What we're doing
Yep.
now. That's amazing. I
Yeah,
love that so much.
that's yeah.
I like nerdy
It's
date night
I am a
games.
fiend for maps. Most of these came from video games. One of these, this was a tablecloth I found at a Goodwill.
That's awesome,
It was
though.
a paper party tablecloth that I cut up. But yeah, I'm a map fiend, so if I see a fantasy map at an artist alley, I have to be drug away from it. This one right here, this is, I think Karen Hillian is her name. She does the She series. But it is a Marauders map, but there's a TARDIS and Luna Lovegood's name next to it. Yeah.
I feel like Luna would never leave the TARDIS. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so you see there's Luna and the Doctor on it, and I saw it and I was so charmed by it. So I had to get it.
I love it.
That's
amazing.
That's another nice thing about, small independent artists that are good people who support good causes, is because it's like, oh, I have such happy memories of Harry Potter, and none of this money went to a transphobe.
Right? I know.
Just gonna throw that out there.
It's terrible. Like, I have so much merch from before all that fun stuff happened, and I'm like,
yeah,
fun stuff, guys. I don't actually think it's fun, but
yeah. Me too, Dubs. Con moms say trans rights.
Yes. And for me, I was like, some of the officially licensed stuff now, I'm like, I have like an emotional connection to this about when I got it, but then I also am like very like torn, because I'm also like, I feel like having this here means I like bad things, and I also don't want this in my house. So it's kind of like hard.
I feel like that is a great conversation for a future podcast.
Yes. Or moral.
Because I understand exactly where you're coming from, but when there's small independent artists, that are good people supporting good things. Again, not to keep going back to Elle Hoffer, she is very publicly supportive of trans folks. She does have some Harry Potter stuff, but she is very, very supportive of the entire LGBT community. So, you can find a balance wherever you fall on that, wherever your heart leads you on that. There is a balance there, and it's nice to know that, like, oh, this money went to good people.
Yeah, I think we should definitely talk about this next week. I feel like this is a whole conversation we could have. That's probably a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we could close with that. We'll follow up with that next week. Be like, hey guys, let me tell you how we feel about this, because I feel like that's something that's probably been on a lot of people's minds. I think, especially involving Harry Potter. I know there's like other stuff going on as well, but I think
Harry Potter, Joss Whedon, and it. Yep, it goes into the fan art, the merch, cosplay even. It's,
So yes, we will be talking about that next week, and we look forward to having you back. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening to us. You can always follow us on that. Be sure to check out the post for this week, because we are going to have tons of links in there for you to check out as well. And remember to support your local artists. And thank you guys so much.
And please drop links.
Yes, drop links.
Yes, you also drop your links. Share with us your favorite artists that you have found, independent creators that you found through cons or even outside of it. Spread that love.
Yeah, because sharing is how we find even more people, and we really love that. And I think it'd be cool too to have people on as guests eventually, once we get more where we can interview some of these people, because I would love to hear stuff from other creators. We love creators, we love creativity. It's all of us. But yes, thank you guys so much. Please drop more links so we can find more things to spend our money on, because we are very excited about that.
Yes,
thank you
please.
guys so much for listening. Have a great day. This is
Sarah
and
Stephanie.
And we are Con Moms.